Down. Greg Ward off target. Jalen Reagor. No. This is really the story of the evening. -4 yards for the Eagles in the first quarter.
Not very good.
Okay. We start the second quarter still scoreless, and Jalen Hurts is on the field, and you're thinking, have they made a switch? No. Comes in. That was the first snap all year where Wentz was on the sideline, completes it to Alshon Jeffrey, and Hurts back to the bench. It's 3rd and 8, and this is as much of the story as well. Wentz under pressure, as he's been all year with the O-line struggles. Eagles forced to punt. You're not going to keep Wilson and DK Metcalf down all day. Wilson, beautiful deep ball. Metcalf down just shy of the end zone. Later in the drive, it's 2nd and goal. Wilson, David Moore, corner of the end zone. Perfect pass and throw. Seattle takes a 7-0 lead. Next Seattle drive. 2nd and goal. A penalty backs him up. Chris Carson bullies his way through the Philadelphia defense. I don't know if anybody runs any harder than him in the NFL. Carson back from injury and back in the end zone. Seattle leads 14-0. But late in the second, after the 2-minute warning, a really good 3rd down call given the struggles off offensive line-wise. Let the rush get past you and run upfield. 1st down, Philly. And 2nd and goal. Pumps to Ward. Complete to Dallas Goedert. 3-yard touchdown. Eagles missed the extra point. It's a 1-score game. Still a 1-score game. 17-9, which the last 2 times these teams played is where the game ended. 4th and 2. They go for it. Pass is knocked down by KJ Wright. Ensuing drive. Wilson. Metcalf. What a grab. I don't know what Darius Slay's supposed to do. Seattle would have to settle for a field goal. It's 20-9. Ensuing drive for the Eagles. Down there close. Wentz overthrows Goddard. Then looking for the rookie. Jalen Reagor. Just beyond his reach. Doug Peterson decides to go for it on 4th down. You're down 2 scores. Pass on the field goal, and Wentz throws it right to Quandre Diggs. Later, he would complete a pass that was of great interest to many of you. And as a result, it's a 6-point road win. 6-point. The let Russ cook movement in full effect. He eclipses 3,000 yards Monday with 5 games to spare. He's now reached that mark in all 9 of his seasons, breaking a tie with Cam Newton for the 2nd longest streak to begin a career in National Football League history. Peyton Manning did so in each of his first 13 seasons. Time now for our T-Mobile post-game coverage. Lisa Salters with Russell Wilson.
Russell, another primetime game, another win for you. You are the winningest quarterback in primetime in league history. Just what's your secret under the lights?
Oh, man. I think just staying poised. I think just believing and always being prepared. I believe in being prepared. I believe our football team was prepared. We're playing championship football. We got through some tough times. We also doing a great job all season. Our defense really stepped up the past few games. It looked unbelievable. Carlos Dunlap's a big pickup for us. Jamal Adams has been unbelievable. Diggs, Bobby Wagner's as good as it gets. I don't know if there's been ever a better linebacker. There's been some good ones, and that's a big comment. But I'm just grateful for our guys. DK Metcalf made some great plays today. He got a lot of catches. Tyler, special. Guys ran the ball really well. We had that holding call. We could have been another touchdown. We had a couple big plays that could have been there too as well to really break the game open. But we kept battling. We did it together, and that's what championship teams do. And so I just love playing. I love being prepared. I love winning, and I love the process more than the end result.
Let's talk about this kid.
All right, we welcome in Louis Riddick and Brian Greasy. And, fellas, it's a workmanlike game from Seattle. I guess DK Metcalf's the one guy that just jumps off the screen, had 177 yards, which until the very end was more than everybody else in the field combined. And Louis, I'll just start with you as a guy who used to make his living trying to slow guys like that down. When you look at him, what are you seeing?
I'm seeing a problem. And I think Darius Slay saw a problem tonight, too. When you have that kind of size, speed, strength, rapport with your quarterback, it's tough to defend, Scotty, especially when you're one-on-one all night long, like Darius Slay was tonight for the most part, because that's how Jim Schwartz likes to call the game. And Darius Slay's paid a lot of money, and they expect him to be able to match up against guys like this and be able to control them to some degree and not have them go off on you. You saw Jalen Ramsey do it, so he expected Darius Slay to have a little bit better of an outing than he did tonight. But for DK Metcalf and for the Seattle Seahawks fans in that organization, they've got to sell something between him and Russell Wilson that's going to be here to stay.
Speaking of problems, Brian, I didn't want to start the conversation here with the losing quarterback, but I feel like that is the overarching conversation that comes out of watching this game. You got a guy in Carson Wentz, and you all were right to point out it's not that many years ago he's out in the Coliseum and he's cooking, man. It was Carson that was cooking, right, with Philadelphia before that knee injury. But you pay him $128 million. I know the O-line's a mess, and you guys spent a lot of time in the back end of the game talking about it. But even when he's got time, he's off target. As a guy, Brian, who played that position, what is it that you see and don't see from Carson Wentz right now?
I think it's a confidence issue, Scott. And I think it's an accumulation of a lot of bad outings for not just Carson, but for this offense in general. And everybody just wants to bypass the offensive line. I don't. I'm sorry. Like, if you don't have time to sit back there in the pocket, then it begins to affect you. And even when you do have a clean pocket then, Scott, you're wondering, am I going to get hit in the back because I have, a guy in Jordan Mailata that's playing left tackle that's only started 5 games. So it begins to creep into your head. And then the play calling starts to get conservative. So yes, Carson Wentz needs to play better. Doug Peterson needs to coach better. The offensive line needs to play better. The management, the front office here in Philadelphia need to get better talent around Carson Wentz. I still believe in Carson Wentz, and you might mock me for that. I think he's a good quarterback. He's proven that he can be a good quarterback when you have the pieces around him.
No, not at all. And what I get it. And again, you played that position, so you know better than anyone how troubling it can be to have an O-line in front of you that is not able to keep you kind of upright. But I just feel like you're seeing misses when he's got a clean pocket, and the confidence speaks to that. It would make sense to me. And I just wonder, Lewis, and you know that town so well, because you're still kind of in it in theory, but you're not in it if this is how you're going to play. You know what I'm saying? So I just wonder, and you made it the point during the game, what are you supposed to do? I'm not saying that making a switch at quarterback gives you a better option to win. I just wonder if they're kind of boxed in by the money and the situation, Lewis.
Yeah, they're boxed in by both. You're right. You're kind of in purgatory as far as your season is concerned. You would like to figure out what you have in the future as far as Jalen Hurts is concerned, because you drafted him in the 2nd round, right? So you start thinking along those lines from a long-term perspective. The short term says we still have a chance to win the division if somehow we can get ourselves together here and win a few games. So what that usually leaves you is right down the middle where they are right now, which is you have a little bit of hope, but you also know we have a lot of work to do.